Would I make a good foster parent? Maybe you're asking yourself that question today. Well, here are 5 questions to help you decide if you would make a good foster parent. Hi, my name is Genevieve Yanetta. My husband and I have been foster parents for 17 years. We've adopted 4 girls from the foster care system. And today we're going to talk about if possibly you would make a good foster parent. And I'm going to share 5 questions to help you to decide. If you get any value from this video along the way, make sure to subscribe. It really does help content creators like myself, as well as leave a comment and ring that bell for notifications of future videos. Also, make sure to stick around at the end for my final thoughts. So foster care, it really is no joke. It's really not for the faint of heart. It's not for someone who wakes up one day and says, guess what? I'm going to be a foster parent and just dives right in. Honestly, what I've seen is the best foster parents are those who really wait and watch videos like this and consider if they would make a good foster parent first. From what I've seen, the best foster parents also research about foster care. They get to know what it's like, what age group of children they would like to care for. I have a video about different age children. I will try to link it below, so make sure to watch that. The best foster parents also ask themselves a lot of questions. They ask them about themselves, about foster care. And so here are 5 questions for you to consider if maybe you're called or meant to be a foster parent. Question number 1 is this: do I have a love for children? There are a lot of things that maybe we're not qualified when it comes to be a foster parent. We may not have a ton of assets or a ton of time or a ton of energy, but one thing that is crucial is that you must have a love for children. Without love, this whole job or this whole purpose, it will fail. You will not succeed. You will not continue. You must have really a heart for children. It does not mean that you currently need to be a parent, a biological parent. Maybe you're an aunt or an uncle and you just have so much love for your nephew or your niece. Maybe you're a teacher and you just really love kids and want to help in a bigger way. If we don't have love for our kids, we will not do what is best for kids that are in our care. We may do what's easiest, we may do what's convenient, we may even do what other people tell us, but at the end of the day, these children will not be served well if we do not put them first out of a place of love in our hearts. And so love is really one of the most crucial and monumental things that you must have if you are considering being a foster parent. The second question that you might want to ask yourself if you are considering foster care or being a foster parent is this: am I willing to be teachable? Am I willing to grow? Am I willing to learn? Or do I have really rigid, concrete ideas about myself, about children, about parenting, about the system, about birth parents? Being rigid as a foster parent, I guarantee it will not work. You will end up being one of those families who are 50% that end being a foster parent within the first year. It is monumental and so valuable and necessary that you are willing to grow and to change, to really consider your own heart, your own way of doing things. There's just so much to learn. We've done this 17 years and I am continually learning and growing about new laws that come out about our state and foster children, new behaviors, new diagnosis, new therapies. Just the list goes on and on. And so really being, having a teachable spirit or being willing to grow or to change and not being rigid is really a valuable thing that really you must have before becoming a foster parent. The third question that you might want to ask yourself if you are considering being a foster parent or wondering if you're ready to be a foster parent is this: am I stable? That's a big question, right? It can be a loaded question. When you think of stability, often you might think of, an excellent job, an excellent career, an excellent education, a big house. But stability is so much more than that. You don't have to have all of these things. Really, stability, the kind that I'm talking about anyway, is a stability from within, a stability in who you are, a stability in your relationships with those around you, a stability in really your sense of self. There may be this lie that you've heard, or maybe you even think like foster parents are heroes, or they're some great people who take on the world, but really the truth is they're not. They're just average people who are willing to step out into the arena of foster care and work to make a difference in the lives of someone else. And so when we talk about stability, that is really foundational, so that we can't give another person stability unless we ourselves are stable. And maybe within that would be to look at the last year of your life. What does it look like? Have you moved 3 times? That might not be beneficial for a child that comes into your home. Looking for stability. Have you been under a crash course of relationships that have come in and out of your life? Again, that might not mean that you would be really the best resource for a child emotionally. Or do you know who you are? You don't have to have a big house. You don't have to make a ton of money. You don't have to have this really excellent career. You just have to have love and stability and a willingness to grow and to learn to become a foster parent. The fourth question that you might ask yourself if you are considering being a foster parent is this: am I willing to live sacrificially? And what do I mean by that? Sacrificially, it sounds like some big sanctimonious word, but sacrificially is really this idea of being ready to give part of yourself for the sake of somebody else. And so what that would look like was, are you ready to give your time? Are you ready to give your energy? Are you ready to write court reports and care for kids that might have extra needs, or advocate for children in the schools, whatever that might look like? Are you willing to give up some of what your life looks like now for the sake of another child? Living sacrificially, it really isn't a popular theme in today's world. You hear a lot about self-care and your needs and your wants. And while I'm not discarding those things, to deny the truth of foster care, which means that we do have to give up a part of ourselves, it is really just important to address. And sometimes I think as foster parents, it's not just giving up maybe our time or our resources. There's also maybe our idea of what the next 6 months or the next year may look like. Maybe our lives if we end up adopting. Maybe giving up some of our hopes or our dreams or our willingness to want to travel or to do certain things that maybe will be hindered by having a foster child in our home. And so to go into foster care knowing that really the call to foster care is a sacrificial call will serve you well, and it will help you to do your job even better, knowing that you're going to give a lot of yourself, but at the end of the day, you are going to get so much more in return. And the fifth question that you might want to consider if you are thinking about and wondering if you would be a great fit to be a foster parent is this: do I have grit? That is a great question to ask yourself. Do I persevere when things are hard? Do I have a little bit of maybe stubbornness or tenacity or a will to keep going when things are hard? Or do I just give up? Do I throw in the towel? Do I try to escape and run from difficult things? Studies have shown that really the most successful people in life are not those who are the smartest or the strongest or the most athletic or the most brilliant. Those who are most successful in life are those who have the most grit, those who are willing to persevere past obstacles and hardships and are willing to continue under pressure. That is the kind of grit that I'm talking about when it comes to foster parenting and being a foster parent. Those are the kind of qualities that will help you succeed as you consider becoming a foster parent. And one way maybe for you to consider and look at your life and wonder if you do have grit. Do I have what it takes to keep going or to take in a kid from hard places? Look back at your life. How have you handled pressures or stresses or obstacles in your life? Did you rise up just with this inner strength, or did you just like kowtow down and bow down and walk away? The best and most successful foster parents are those that have grit and are willing to keep going. And so if you have grit and if you are ready really to sacrifice part of your life, if you are willing to learn and to bend and to grow, my guess is that you're going to make an excellent foster parent. And these are my final thoughts. Foster parenting isn't something you just wake up and do. It isn't something that you casually just decide to do on a whim. It is something that is serious. It is impacting. It can affect generations and a multitude of people. And most of all, foster parenting, it will affect you. It will change you from the inside. It will radically transform you. And maybe you're wondering if you have what it takes to be a foster parent. Of all of the 5 things I've listed today about being a foster parent and what it takes, of all of those, the most important thing is love. If you are someone who loves children, if you love other people, and you're willing to go the extra mile to make sure that someone else's life is a little bit better than it was before, then my guess is you are a perfect candidate to become a foster parent. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, go out, live bold, and be brave as usual. See you next time.